Hello guys, welcome back to Led by Light. Uh, yes, before we begin, let me confess something. This video almost didn't happen, not because I didn't have time, not because I didn't know what to say, but because throughout the day there were dozens of things, competing for my attention. So some were important, some were useful, some simply appeared urgent. And it made me realize something. The greatest threat to our goals is not always failure. Sometimes it's distraction. Sometimes it's spending our energy on things that matter less while postponing the things that matter most. Yeah. And that's what I want us to talk about today. The funny thing is, most distractions don't arrive dressed as distractions. They arrive dressed as priorities. Have you ever reached the end of a long day and wondered where all your time went? You were busy, you answered messages, you handled responsibilities, you responded to what needed your attention. Yet somehow, despite all that activity, it feels like you haven't moved any closer to the life you want to build. Active but not aligned. And you are tired but not fulfilled. I think many of us know that feeling. You can relate to that. We wake up and immediately begin responding to life, notifications, emails, deadlines, requests, expectations. Everything seems urgent, Everything seems important. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, urgent to what? Really? Urgent to whom? Because not everything that demands your attention deserves your life. Urgency is a way of controlling us. It shouts, it pressures, it interrupts. It convinces us that everything must happen now. But the things that truly matter are often much quieter. You see, your relationship with God, your purpose, your personal growth, your family, your calling, your health. These things rarely shout. They wait. And because they wait, we often postpone them. Not because we don't know, we don't care, but because urgency keeps getting in the way. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that a meaningful life is not about doing things as quickly as possible. It is about doing first things first. The problem is that many of us spend our days focused on what is urgent rather than what is important. And over time, that creates stress, frustration, and a feeling that something is missing. We are moving but not progressing, working but not building, doing but not becoming. The truth is, your life is perfectly organized around what you keep saying yes to. Think about that for a moment. Your schedule reveals your priorities. Your habits reveals your priorities. Your daily choices reveal your priorities. And sometimes that realization can be uncomfortable. Because what we say is important and what we actually prioritize are not always the same thing. Yeah. Now, here's something important to understand. What is important to me may not be important to you. Okay? A parent may have different priorities from a student. A pastor may have different priorities from an entrepreneur. A content creator may have different priorities from a retiree. But every one of us must answer the same question. You see, what deserves first place in my life? What is it? For me, the answer begins with God. Because before we decide what comes first, we must decide who comes first. I had to grow up, I had to man up and learn this the fastest I could. When God is first, everything else begins to find its proper place. Our decisions becomes clearer. Our purpose becomes clearer. Our priorities becomes clearer. And while none of us get it right all the time, we can move in the right direction. I want to be honest with you. This is an area where I still struggle. As a content creator, I've discovered that consistency is often not a time problem. You see, it's a priority problem. Sometimes I allow whatever captures my attention to determine my day. A new idea, a message, a distraction, something that feels productive. And before I know it, the most important task gets pushed aside. See, maybe you can relate to that. You see, as I say, even this video nearly didn't happen. You see, that is why I've learned that goals alone are not enough. You see, yes, even my past profession also taught me this. You have to have a plan. You have to plan your day. You see. So hence I say we need to have systems, a simple plan. You see, something practical that helps us to stay focused on what matters most. So let me share a simple system with you. And I hope it will make a difference in someone's life. Okay. Every morning, ask yourself 3 questions. What is most important today? What can wait until tomorrow? What distraction am I likely to face? You see. Then write down 1 priority, not 10, not 20, just 1. the one thing that, if completed today, will move you closer to your purpose. You see. Let me give you a practical example. You see. Today, my priority is to create this video, not redesign my channel, not spend hours researching new ideas, just this one video. My plan is simple. Create a message about the lie of agency, record it, edit it, upload it today. That's it. Now, along the way, I will probably be tempted by distractions. Maybe another video idea, maybe social media, maybe messages, maybe something that suddenly feels urgent. But if I allow every distraction to redirect me, then I end the day with many unfinished tasks and no real progress. You see. So I come back to the plan. Finish the video, post the video, serve the audience. Because consistency is not about doing everything. It's not. Consistency is about repeatedly doing the things that matter the most. And at the end of the day, I may not have completed everything I wanted to do, but I will have completed the one thing that moved me closer to my goal. You see? Yeah. That brings something powerful. Fulfillment. The satisfaction knowing that I'm one video closer to my vision. You see? One video closer to my destiny. One step closer to becoming the person God created me to be. A distracted day feels busy. An intentional day feels meaningful. See? Perhaps the greatest challenge is not knowing what is important. Perhaps the greatest challenge is staying committed to it. You see? Staying committed, I think that's the challenge most of us are facing. You see? The people who reach their goals are not always the most talented. Often they are simply the ones who keep showing up for what matters most. You see? One priority at a time, one decision at a time, one faithful step at a time. The goal is not perfection. The goal is alignment. You see? Then I said, if everything really feels important, we can spend our entire lives moving without ever arriving. So maybe the question is not what needs my attention today. Maybe the better question is, what deserves my life? You see? Take a moment to think about that. What deserves your life? What deserves your best energy? What deserves your first attention? You see? Because what you put first today is quickly shaping who you become tomorrow. Guys, this is the message I came up with. Like I'm saying, this video nearly didn't happen. So, but I saw it necessary and important to, sort of encourage you, to motivate you that, we need to prioritize, And this also reminded me of my professor last year, Professor Swartz. He's also a professor at Stadio, and he came with I'll say snippet from a book that he read, First Things First. And we had to, we engaged as a class, and we truly learned something even out of that. That not everything that is important, it's truly important to us. But if we put first things first, then we know where we are heading. It might take a while with no rushing, but we will eventually accomplish what we want. So for my channel as well, I've told myself that, so the minute you compare yourself to other people, how the other channels are growing, that's where we end up making a lot of mistakes, because I'll be rushing to have more videos but without substance, you see. And say a friend comes to you, I once even made this example, that you decided that today I want to stay home because I want to do this and that, but your friends come in and then they convince you to follow, you see. And then you forget about the important things that you wanted to do. Your family, you forget that you wanted to spend quality time with them. And then you postpone that, you see. So this video reminded me as well of Professor Swartz. Yeah, my professor. Yeah, and my subscribers, you are my most important, what can I call it? Commodity. But you are the most important. That's why when I think of something, I don't want to, deliberate on it alone. I want to bring it here, and then maybe you will indulge me, and then we discuss it further, because we understand things, or maybe the manner I present it now, and the manner you will present it now as well, it will mean something to someone out there. Guys, this, as usual, these are my notes, and I thought I should share them with you. Remember, me and you, we once missed a step. We once took certain things for granted. But now, on second thought, we are here, we are saying, we missed a step and we are trying again. We want to do better, and eventually want to see ourselves being the better versions of ourselves. So remember, one video at a time, and we will be holding hands, me and you, celebrating at the end of the tunnel. First things first, guys. First things first. Guys, I love you and thank you so much for your attention. Stay blessed.